Hi guys, it's been a minute since I did a video, but there's just been something a little bit new in the works here with this whole allodial title thing that I have been working on along with some of the people I've been collaborating with in the past. And that has to do with something that I was reading in a pamphlet regarding allodial titles, and it said land purchased with real currency is considered to be held in allodium, just as it is, regardless of what the grant says, regardless of anything. And so I got to thinking about that, and then in conjunction with that, not long or a while after I'd read that, one of my clients called me up and he said, so what's your take, Sonia, on strengthening the allodial title with a silver dollar? And I was like, that's a great question, because I've actually been thinking about that myself. And he talked about how he was acquainted with a family they were ranchers, really big ranchers. They had this many quarters of land, and they were in the process of buying a whole bunch more land. And when they were doing up the paperwork, they asked the lawyer to put on the certificate of title that it was purchased for, let's say $120,000 plus one silver dollar. And the lawyer ended up getting really upset at them, and he didn't want to do it. And the ranchers kept pushing, and finally the lawyer did it for them. And so he asked me about that, like, would there be some merit in doing that, in strengthening the allodial title with a silver dollar? So I did a whole bunch of research. I went on the Saskatchewan Land Titles website, and I found a really old grant from it was the Prince Albert area, which is the first area in Saskatchewan that was settled. So it was from the late 1800s. It was before the Land Titles Office was even established here in Saskatchewan. And so the Crown granted this certain fellow a tract of land. His name was Lawrence Clark. And over time, after a few years or 10 years or whatever, he decided he was going to sell it, and he sold it actually to 3 nuns. And it was very interesting paperwork that he did up, because it didn't go through Land Titles Office, because Land Titles Office wasn't here. He did up what was called an indenture, and it basically just stated that he, Lawrence Clark, was selling or granting, I guess, this tract of land to these 3 nuns for the sum of, it said $2,000 of lawful money of Canada. So that was before the fiat currency. And so I took that indenture, and together with some of these guys that I've been working with, we did up an indenture for this fellow that I was working for at Eastern Saskatchewan. And we did up, basically, I did the allodial title for him the standard way, where you trace a full chain of titles, like do the land genealogy or whatever, from current owner all the way back to Crown grant, do up the declaration, post it and all that. He's doing all that, but there's a fly on my screen. But in addition to that, we did up these indentures where it specifies that basically his wife is selling him their home quarter for 1 silver dollar. And so if I like this idea, especially for land that has been granted in fee simple. In video number 3, I talk a little bit about the difference between fee simple and assigns forever grants. So the fee simple grants are not quite as solid as the assigns forever ones. So in that case, I do think that these silver dollar pledges or indentures, or whatever you want to call them, could possibly be beneficial. So that's kind of the latest thing that's on the press here, or in the works here, for this whole allodial title thing. I did this for a farmer out by Eastern Saskatchewan. He had 80 quarter sections of land, and he put an allodial title on all of them the standard way. And then I also did these indentures for all of them as well. So I'm just letting you guys know that is another option if you have fee simple grants and you'd like to strengthen them, or even if you just want to go ahead and strengthen even the assigns forever ones. It is an option. I charge an extra $50 to do up the paperwork. It's not super time consuming, but obviously it is a little bit. So yeah, anyway, that's the latest. I'm just keeping you posted.